to choose themes that help us to slow down and enjoy our lives, which is something as high achievers that we don't do quite so well. And so we need practice, and yoga is a practice of doing that. And I do teach yoga almost every Saturday, and any of you are welcome to join there. It's free. It's just a passion project that I love. And a couple of my regulars are joining us today too. And I also send out the recordings. And so if you get on the email list, you get invites to whenever the classes are and to get the recordings. I'm going to teach a few extra holiday classes this week. So if that appeals, I would love to have any of you. And today's class is going to be about savoring rather than saving the world, and baking rather than microwaving is my theme for today. And I always like to infuse a little bit of humor to that. So we'll get started. Find a comfy spot on your mat, sitting up on a blanket or a bolster, whatever you've got. Ideally, your hips above your knees in some way. And take a moment here to arrive. So many of us don't arrive, and we just move from thing to thing. And that would be the first invitation in the savoring experience, is to take time to savor the transitions. And to notice when we just move through life, even the holidays, and even a beautiful snowy morning in Hanover with just missing the sparkle of the light. And so take a long, deep inhale here, arriving mind and body and spirit into the same spot, in through your nose and out through your mouth, let it out. And take a moment to savor that first breath and the slight shift that happens with just one breath. Breathing in through your nose once again, and out through your mouth. Pausing to savor and enjoy it. Another inhale in through your nose and out through your mouth. And a moment of pause here to consider this idea of savoring and what perhaps you might not be savoring in your life. What might you like to savor more, either this week, this month, or in the year ahead? An invitation to flip your palms open in a more receptive, open position, allowing the idea of savoring, being willing and open to slow down and notice and see. And also to enjoy, to let in that joy, receiving. Many of us are slow to do that, resistant to do that, or out of practice. We're always busy doing, helping others, and not taking a moment to savor and enjoy. Notice your sit bones, your pelvic bones, those ischial spines, ground them downward into whatever you're sitting on. Tilt your pelvis forward and stack your spine, align it all the way up through to the crown of your head. Lengthen your neck. Notice those bones behind your ears, and in your mind's eye, lift them up and stretch tall. Take another long, delicious inhale through your nose. And exhale, drop your shoulders. And notice how you feel, letting it in, savoring it, and moving slowly. And an invitation here to bring a hand to heart, left hand atop the heart space with your palms spread wide, fingers spread wide. The heel of your hand presses into that left chest area, and bring the other hand, likely your right hand, atop, and press in slightly and enjoy that release of oxytocin, or the feel-good hormone. Sending yourself attention and care, and allowing yourself to slowly savor it. Let it feel good. And taking in a breath to help circulate it around. And an exhale, let it out, enjoy. And a moment to consider this idea of baking rather than microwaving. Most of us move through our lives microwaving things, getting things done quickly, efficiently. The food is ready faster. but it usually doesn't taste better. And so what if you could approach your week this week, your holidays, your January, or perhaps all of 2023 with more of a baking approach? What needs to be baked? What needs more time? Time to grow, time to enjoy, perhaps time to connect with your family, time to connect with yourself, time to connect with nature. So what might baking look like in your life? Taking in a breath of inspiration and hope and creativity around this idea. Letting go of that attachment to the urgency and the microwaving and the getting it done and the moving from place to place. Breathing in slowness and presence, being in the moment. And breathing out the hurry and the rush and the moving through without slowing down. Breathing in the idea of savoring. Breathing out the idea of the fixing and the managing and the controlling of all the things that aren't ours to fix or manage or control. And breathing in simple breath. Exhale, let it out. And a moment to savor and pause and be present and enjoy. A moment to notice perhaps sunrises, sunsets, the beautiful day of sun sparkling on the snow, or perhaps new snow falling. Or where I am, just winter crisp, beautiful air and views and sky. And bring your hands to heart center, palms rub together, finger pads touch. Savor how delicious that feels as you rub them together. Connect your thumbs together and press your thumbs into your sternum, the bone between your chest. Pressing in, making a deep connection with your heart space underneath. Taking a moment here to listen. Listen to what your heart wants. Take a moment to set an intention to what you would like to savor, perhaps in this next hour here on your mat, in your life this week ahead, or perhaps going forward. Where have you been microwaving things? Where might baking be much more delightful, enjoyable, and delicious? Take in an inhale to seal that in. Whatever it is, however it resonates for you. And an exhale, letting it out. And you can lower your hands, and if your eyes are closed, open them. And just take a moment to wiggle and get all the kinks out and enjoy where you are. And once again, reconnect with your sit bones. Connect them into the earth beneath you or whatever you happen to be sitting on. Tilt your pelvis forward and stack your spine. Reach the crown of your head towards the sky. And as we begin to move, everything I offer is an invitation or a suggestion. You decide what you would like to do and what feels good, and do that. Yoga is a practice of feeling good and pushing and stretching yourself only to the degree that that is helpful for you. A good lesson for life, and mat is a beautiful place to practice. Bring your hands down by your sides, wiggle your fingers, shake your shoulders out, engage your belly button. Inhale, reach both arms up towards the sky. Clasp your fingers together, interlace them. Flip your palms up towards the sky. Stretch your elbows long and straight. Shimmy your side body, both waists reaching tall through the palms of your hand. Reach them tall, tall, tall towards the sky with a huge, delicious inhale and a slight arch back. Exhale, round forward, coming into a seated cat pose. Suck your navel all the way back and savor all those sensations as the back opens. Allow your crown of your head to reach forward as far as you can, taking in an inhale here as you stretch your hands forward, savoring each little rib fiber opening up. Exhale, let it out. Inhale, reach tall, slight arch back, moving slowly and enjoying and savoring. Exhale, round forward, suck your navel all the way back, palms reach forward, crown of the head reaches forward as far as you can. Inhale, reach tall, tall, tall once again. Open your arms out towards the side walls. Take a moment to flex your wrists with intention, spread your fingers wide, press your palms into the side walls and pinch your scapula. Savor that sensation, everything waking up, lots of tingles. Exhale, let it go. Wrap your arms around in front, coming into a hug. You're going to wiggle your fingers to the medial edge of your scapula. Lift up your elbows over your chest if it's in the way and lower it down lightly. Taking in a huge squeezing inhale. Squeeze yourself. Give yourself a huge bear hug as you fill yourself up with breath. And drop your chin to chest. Roll forward and enjoy the back open here as you exhale. Inhale, a huge hug. And an exhale, letting it go. Oftentimes we wait for someone else to hug us, but we can do this anytime. Bring your chin back to neutral. Untangle your arms. Press them towards the side walls once again. Wrists are flexed, fingers spread wide. Enjoy the sensations of every muscle fiber and tiny nook and cranny of the hands, opening, engaged. Pinch your scapula together once again in your mind's eye. Appreciate all of those sensations. Exhale, relax. Wrap your hug in the opposite direction, likely left arm under right. Wiggle your fingers to the medial edge, the middle part of your scapula. See if you can even grab the edge of it. Lift your elbows up. Huge inhale. Squeeze tight. Exhale, round forward and enjoy the back fan open. Head comes into the cradle of your arms. A breath here, enjoying it. Exhale, let it out. Bring your chin back to shoulder height. Untangle, stretch your arms wide towards the sides and lower them down. Roll your shoulders back 3 times, savoring all of the sensations, the movements, the pops, the crackles. Roll them in the opposite direction. And if you have no pops and crackles, enjoy that. Take your hands, interlace them behind you. Extend your fists towards the floor, elbows straight, shoulders down and back. Press those fists as far towards the floor as you can. Lengthen the neck. Inhale, reach the crown of your head tall. Enjoy the breath coming into every nook and cranny of the breath, savoring it here. Exhale, if it works for your neck, drop your chin to chest and enjoy. A breath here, long, smooth, and nourishing. And exhale, let it out. Bring your chin back to shoulder height. Release your hands and shake them out. Take the block or bolster out from under you. If you have a blanket and you have tight hamstrings, you can keep it. And stretch your legs long in front. Take a moment to move the flesh of your seat out of the way with kindness and without judgment, so that you can feel your sit bones connect into the earth. Your knees can be bent or straight, depending what feels good to you. Engage your belly and tilt your pelvic bowl forward once again. Inhale, both arms up towards the sky. Reach tall, 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 taking a moment to connect downward and reach tall in the same inhale. Filling yourself up with the breath, every nook and cranny, all the way down into the pelvis. And exhale, gently round forward, reaching towards your delightful toes, taking a moment to appreciate them. Allow your head and neck to fall forward. If your knees would like to lower to the floor, enjoy the sensations in the back of the legs, savoring them. Spread your toes wide, wide, wide. Space between each toe, activating that feet energy. Flex your ankles towards you. Your toes will come towards you with your head and neck releasing forward. Savoring all of this sensation. Noticing that sometimes our mind says all these little movements are not anything. They're a version of baking. Letting things seep together, integrate, using every little nook and cranny, making the most delicious casserole, pie, cake, whatever you want to make. Thinking of your body that way.
Treating it not with this hurry to get things done or accomplished, but to enjoy it and let it come together and integrate. Take a huge inhale into the back body once again. And if it's available, you can bend your elbows and lower down a tiny bit more. Enjoy the sensations in the backs of the legs. Toes are still stretched wide, wide, wide. Your toes don't get much attention, gifting them a little bit of time and attention here. Relax your toes. Slowly slide up your shins to your knees, to your thighs. Sitting up tall, notice your sit bones. Take your hands, tent them behind you like cupcakes. Press your fingers into the floor. Drop your shoulders down and back. Puff your chest out forward, coming into Dandasana or staff pose. Huge drink of breath down through the back of the heart space, down right into your belly. Exhale, engage everything. Your heels may pop off the floor, spread your toes wide. Savoring this here, small, simple, and strong. Exhale, take another delicious inhale. Nourishing every nook and cranny of you here with everything engaged. Exhale, let it out. Relax everything. Take your right leg, bring the right sole of your foot into the left inner thigh. Your knee is going to be out at 90 degrees, and take a moment to find your sit bones once again. Move that flesh of your seat if you need to. Engage your belly once again. Inhale both arms up towards the sky. Lengthen the side body. Notice and enjoy it. Notice your left foot. Toes should be reaching towards the ceiling, not all wonky. Turn gently towards the left, about 10-degree shift. Exhale, fold forward, reaching for the outer edge of the right foot or the right calf, and allow your head and neck to fall and the right rib cage to open, and drop your head and neck, release. Huge inhale into the right side body here. And exhale, fold forward a little bit more. Enjoy the opening of the side body, breathing into every nook and cranny. Exhale, let it out. One more breath here, opening, enjoying. Slowly slide up that left leg. You're going to take your right hand and bring it about 18 inches behind your hip. Place it flat on the floor, fingers spread wide. Drop your right knee towards the floor. Drop your left toes towards the right. Pick up your hips, raise your left hand, and come into Wild Thing. Stretch long the whole left side body, enjoying. Outer edge of the left foot is on the floor. Left fingers wiggle towards the right side. Wiggle them as if they're dancing. Taking a moment to savor every nook and cranny of that left waist area, left lower back, all the way through the outer edge of that left pinky toe. Breathe into it. Stretch long, wiggle. Exhale, release. You'll lower your right hip towards the floor, turn back towards the front, stretch both legs long in front, and take a moment to even yourself out once again, and with kindness, move the flesh of the seat out of the way. Take an inhale, engage your belly. Once again, reach both arms towards the sky. Exhale, fold forward, round forward, drop your head and neck, release the back body, evening things out for a moment here. Huge breath in. Exhale, release, fold forward a smidge more if it would feel good. And slide your hands up your legs to your thighs. Bring your left sole of your foot into the right inner thigh. Your knee will reach out 90 degrees. Move the flesh of your seat out of the way once again. Taking a moment, noticing the transitions. When you set yourself up well, the product turns out better. Inhale, reach both arms up towards the sky. Twist slightly to the right. Exhale, fold forward over that right foot. Notice the right toes reaching towards the sky, not wonky. Left hand reaches to the outer edge of the left foot. Left rib cage fans open. Send the breath there into every beautiful nook and cranny, muscle fiber, bathing it with the breath and the oxygen and beautiful blood flow. Savoring what happens when you treat yourself well and you stop moving through, fixing, solving, saving, taking time for you, baking this beautiful product version of you that feels amazing, that's whole and healthy. One more breath here. Sliding up that right leg, you'll bring your left hand about 18 inches behind the left hip, flat palm, spread your fingers wide, wide, wide. Right toes go to the left, left knee hits the floor, lift your hips up, reach your right arm over the top and stretch the whole right side body. Enjoying everything open up here, every nook and cranny, wiggling those right fingers, lengthening, enjoying, savoring. Baking some change, some little bits of things, going through that process, kindly, slowly, taking their time. Huge breath in, all the way down to your right foot, letting it go the whole way down, enjoying it. Exhale, lower your hips, coming back to center, moving things out of the way. We'll sweep our feet around the back behind, coming into hands and knees. If you have a blanket and you have sensitive knees, feel free to grab it. And we'll come to tabletop here. Hands directly under your shoulders, knees directly under your hips, fingers spread wide, 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 equal pie shapes. All 10 knuckles, the palmar surface, press into the floor. Both palms press downward, so there isn't a cup, to keep your wrists nice and safe, and your elbows are engaged. The tops of the arm bones are secure in the shoulder sockets. Knees are on the earth, tops of the feet gracefully on the floor. Engage your belly. Notice your belly button. Inhale, stick your sit bones up towards the sky, crown of the head towards the sky, and stretch your belly. Savor it. Cow pose once again in a different position. Very different feelings here. Rounding, reaching the crown of the head towards the sky. Savor that front of the belly. It gets rare attention. Noticing. Exhale, round, come up into cat pose. Reach your navels all the way towards the sky or the ceiling. Drop your head and neck. Back opens every nook and cranny. Inhale, round, back into cow pose. Savoring the movement of the spine and every sensation. Pause and notice. Pause and enjoy. Pause and appreciate. All of this is available even as we move through our day if we take the time to notice. The invitation is to notice and move a little bit more slowly. Stop missing the good moments. Exhale, round into cat. Pause here. And we'll come back to tabletop. Lower your elbows to the floor, palms on the floor, spread your fingers wide, lower your forehead. We're going to come into puppy pose. You'll walk your elbows a little bit farther forward, walk your fingers forward, and you'll notice some deliciousness in the back of your shoulders, in your armpits, giving your armpits a moment to stretch, the upper back in a way that we rarely do. And notice your third eye or your forehead on the floor. If you have a block here, you can put it under your forehead if your forehead doesn't reach. And taking a moment to feel settled and grounded and safe. In this moment, nothing else to do but enjoy the stretch. Sit bones reach towards the sky. Tops of the feet are light on the earth. Take in a breath into your heart space here. Giving your heart room to fill completely, a little anti-gravity, more space for the blood to fill all the way. When it fills completely, it can eject completely and helps you move through the world with more ease. Breathing in once again. And exhale slowly. Taking a moment here to both savor what you're experiencing, thinking about what you might like to savor in your life a bit more. It might be as simple as a morning cup of coffee, a sunrise, a sunset, a relationship, the leaves on the trees or leafless trees in Hanover at this time of year. Taking one more breath here, noticing when you slow down, what happens over time. Your shoulders and armpits are experiencing a version of baking, and things are shifting and moving and releasing without effort. Though for many of us, the pause is uncomfortable. We're not used to it. Just noticing that and accepting it. The discomfort leads to something amazing if you're willing to sit with it. One more deep breath here, enjoying. Exhale, let it out. Slowly coming back up, sliding your elbows towards you, pressing back up to hands and knees. Walking your hands forward, a handprint, curl your toes and lift your hips right up into downward dog. If it works for you, if you need a modification, do that. I encourage you to widen your feet a little bit more than usual. Notice your hands, spread your fingers wide, 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 10 knuckles on the floor, both palms. Once again, take really kind care of your wrists. Elbows engaged, humeral heads in the shoulder socket. Reach your sit bones or your hips to the apex, towards the sky, pressing into your hands, press your hips high and your head and neck release towards the floor, and you'll notice things shift. Take a moment to savor it. Savor all the shifts here. A huge inhale into that heart space, this pocket behind your heart that's often tight, that doesn't fill fully. Send it some breath and make some room for things to fill more fully this week, to enjoy it, for your body to function more optimally. Taking a huge breath. Exhale, let it out. Press one heel towards the floor, bend the other knee, and savor that. Enjoy it. Press the other heel towards the floor and bend the opposite knee and enjoy it. Come back to center. Lift up high, high, high on both tippy toes. Heels as high as they can go. Hips shoot towards the sky. Press into your hands. Lower your head down low as you can and enjoy. You can shake your head yes and no if that would feel good, or be still. Notice what your body prefers. When we move slow, we notice what we prefer. We always have a preference. We often just don't notice and you do whatever someone tells you to. So practice noticing what feels good to you and savor it. Lower both heels towards the floor and enjoy those sensations. They won't touch likely, no judgment. Lift up all 10 toes here and notice and lower them down. Walk your hands slowly back towards your feet, coming into a forward fold at the back of your mat. If you need blocks here for tight hamstrings, feel free to grab them. If it would feel good, bring your hands to your elbows and allow your head and neck to release towards the floor. Fully release the lower back and enjoy it in whatever way works for you. So hands can be on blocks or hands can be on opposite elbow, head and neck releasing. If you have high blood pressure or glaucoma, or your head doesn't like being down for whatever reason, you can do this with a flat back. You'll just get a different release. Lift up all 10 toes. Notice the four corners of your feet on the floor when you do that. Spread your toes wide, lower them down. Lower your hands to the floor. Release your head or as low as they go. Engage your belly, and we're going to roll up ever so slowly. Knees will be bent inch by inch by inch by inch, like pearls on a string. You're going to unroll your vertebrae, enjoying each roll. And give yourself time when you arrive to arrive. Let the blood flow shift. Move downward through you, maybe like sands through the hourglass that they give the kids at the dentist these days. Letting it all shift back down through your feet, sending that energetic shift back into the earth to root you, settle you, allow you to pause here, strong and stable, calm and centered. Close your eyes if that feels good. Taking in a drink of breath once again, in through your nose. Sending it all the way down, right into your pelvis, right below your belly button. Exhale, release long and slow. Palms are open towards the floor. Shrug your shoulders all the way up to your ears. Enjoy that sensation. Tilt your head back. Bring the back of your head, the occiput, right into the shoulders and enjoy all the sensations. Exhale, drop your shoulders and take a moment to savor. Notice here as you pause how you might feel different already. Wiggle your fingers, lift up all 10 toes, keeping yourself light and happy. Lower your toes down, draw the earth's energy up through your knees, through your thighs, tuck your pelvic bowl, stack your vertebrae all the way up through the crown of your head. Heart is light. Drop your shoulders, palms open towards the front. Tadasana or mountain pose, taking a moment to enjoy this. A pose that feels simple, yet everything is engaged and working, baking to make this pose seem so easy. And yet so many muscles working well for you. Bring a hand to heart and another hand to top, checking in with your heart space here. Taking a pause to notice how you feel, hopefully good in this moment. And if you don't, acknowledge that. Acknowledge if there's a sadness or something that comes up over the holidays, something in your life. Just sending yourself compassion if there's something such as that, or joy if there's something that you haven't been savoring or appreciating. Letting it in, letting all the feelings in. All the good and all the bad are all part of life. We often resist and don't leave ourselves open to them. And yet the beauty comes when we let them go into every nook and cranny. Taking in another inhale here, sending it right into that heart space, right into the palmar surface of the hand on your heart. Bathing the heart with breath, compassion, kindness. Kindness for yourself. We're full of kindness for the world, but sending yourself a bit here. And allowing yourself to savor this moment of feeling good. Not indulgent or selfish. It's just delightful. It's the point of being here, in allowing ourselves to experience, enjoy, and savor. Lower your hands down by your sides. Open your eyes if they're closed. Give yourself a moment to let the light in. Engage your belly. Inhale your arms out and up towards the sky. Palms come together, slight arch back. We'll fold forward, forward fold. Inhale for a half lift. Your spine is straight, reaching towards the front of the mat. Your sit bones stick back. Everything engaged. Your legs can be as straight as they'll go. Exhale, fold forward, release the lower back. Inhale for another half lift. Savoring the spine movement here and the sensations in the back of the leg. Little movements are often the most powerful. Exhale, fold forward once again. Walk your hands forward, coming into downward dog once again. Readjust your feet as you need. Making the downward dog that feels good to you. Feet can be wider or more narrow. Hands can be wider or more narrow. Do take a moment to check on your fingers and spread each of them wide to protect your wrists. Take a huge inhale here, all the way into your pelvis, right below your belly button. And exhale, letting it out. Using the breath with intention, sending it different spots can be a powerful practice of slowing down and savoring. If you ever have a spot that feels achy or where you hold your sadness or your tightness, send the breath there. So if you have a spot like that, you can send the breath there right now. Sometimes your body screams with an ache and pain, but sometimes it's just subtle. It's pausing to notice, treating yourself well. Notice your hands and the left ball of your foot. Raise your right foot up towards the sky. Press the heel into the back wall, coming into three-legged dog here. Extending that right leg long, long, long. Left leg is straight. Both arms are straight. Huge inhale. Exhale, gently bring your foot between your hands. We're going to come into warrior one here. Wide, a nice wide runway, a shorter stance. Your right toes are reaching towards the front of the mat. Back toes are slightly reaching towards the front left corner of the mat. Wiggle your right toes farther forward if you can. Raise both arms up towards the sky. Inhale, sink into that front knee. Your front knee should not extend beyond your ankle. If you need to wiggle your toes farther forward, do that. And you'll have a delightful calf stretch in the back leg. Huge inhale, stretch tall, tall, tall. Both fingers reaching as tall as you can towards the sky. Lengthen the side body, lengthen the calf, heel reaching towards the floor. Exhale, sink into that front knee once again. Pausing to enjoy. Huge inhales and exhales, slow, long, and deep. Taking the time to savor the breath and using the breath as a way of baking. Baking beautiful change and transformation within. Bring your arms out towards the sides, flex your wrists, press your palms towards the side walls, pinch your scapula, release. Lower your hands behind your sacrum, interlace your fingers, press your fingers towards the floor, straighten your elbows, reach down and back, slight arch back, gaze towards the sky if it works for you, heart open here. Huge breath in, warrior one. Huge heart opener. Exhale, let it go. If you're wiggling and wobbling, just enjoy it. Once again, huge inhale. Exhale, sink in a tiny bit more. You can stay here, or if you wish, fold forward towards the inside of the right knee, coming into humble warrior, reaching your hands towards the sky. This is an advanced pose, so if it doesn't work for you, you can opt out. You may enjoy the release in the front of the shoulders. Pick something that feels good to you. One more breath here. Slowly rise upright once again. Press your hands towards the floor, shoulders down and back. Gaze towards the front initially, and drop your chin to your chest and appreciate the sensations that shift there. Pausing to savor here also. Release your hands. Bring them to heart center, palms together, thumbs come into the sternum. Hop the back foot a little bit forward, up onto your tiptoes. We're going to tip into warrior three for fun today. Warrior three, you're going to shift your weight into your front foot and raise your back foot up in the air. Some of you will raise it just a little bit off the floor. Some of you will tip forward all the way. You can bring your hands into Superman or keep them at heart center to help you balance. Point your toe, your left toe that's in the air, and flex it. Notice the wiggles and the wobbles. Take another breath here, enjoying warrior three, savoring all of the little tiny muscle fibers in the right leg that wake up here. Notice if you can roll your left ankle. Have fun with it. Lower the back foot back to warrior one. Lower your hands on either side of the right foot. Hop the back foot forward, coming into a forward fold. Place your left hand on the floor between your feet. Spread your fingers wide. Bend your left knee straight the right. Twist to the right and reach your right wrist up towards the sky. Roll it out in one direction and then the other. Your left knee is bent, right knee is straight. You should enjoy a release in the right upper hip. Switch sides, right hand on the earth, palm spread wide, right knee bent, left knee straight, twist towards the left, release the left wrist in both directions, being kind. Bring your left hand back to the floor. Engage your belly and roll up, inch by inch by inch by inch. Your head will be the last to rise, moving slowly, enjoying and savoring the transition itself. And when you arrive, let the blood flow adjust. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, not rushing to the next spot, just enjoying. Lifting all 10 toes up and lowering them down to the floor. Lift up onto your tippy toes as high as you can. And pause there.
Notice the wiggles and the wobbles, everything engaged. Bring your hands to heart center, thumbs will press into your sternum, and we'll slowly bend our knees and lower down inch by inch, savoring everything that engages and wiggles and wobbles. Have fun with it. Lowering down inch by inch, all the way to the floor, if that works for you. For some of you, that won't work, and you'll just pause where you need to. When you arrive, stay a moment. We often rush from place to place, pausing here in this somewhat awkward position, noticing what feels good, noticing your toes, noticing your fingers, noticing your thumbs against your sternum. Take a huge drink of breath here, all the way down into your belly and your pelvis, and exhale, let it out. Slowly rising up, still on your tiptoes, inch by inch by inch, engaging different things the whole way, and embracing the wiggles and the wobbles as they come. High, high, high on your tippy toes, and slowly lower your heels to the floor. Release your hands and shake it out. And we'll just roll our ankles out. Taking a moment here to lift up all 10 toes and lower them down. Drawing the earth's energy up through your legs into your pelvic bowl. Engage your belly and align your vertebrae one atop the other all the way through your neck. Taking an inhale, a drink of breath, and drop your shoulders, allowing it to integrate. Baking and savoring is a form of integration, where all the things that we do actually have so much impact if we let them. We stop resisting. We allow them to do their work. And often our busy minds think that harder is better and more is better, but letting some of these subtle movements do their work results in amazing things. Taking in an inhale once again, your arms will reach out and up towards the sky. Slight arch back, fold forward, forward fold. Inhale for a half lift. Your spine is straight, rear end sticks towards the back. Exhale, lower down. Place your palms on the earth, spread your fingers wide, step back for a plank pose. Belly is strong, you're at the top of the push-up. If this doesn't work for you, you can be on hands and knees. We're gonna shift our weight forward onto our tippy toes, bend your knees, roll down chaturanga, whatever way feels good to you, lowering all the way to the floor. Forehead rests on the earth, weight is out of your hands. Inhale for a low cobra. Let your heart shine forward, lower back opens and engages. Exhale, lower down. One more low cobra, weight is out of your hands. Inhale, gaze towards the front, crown of the head reaches towards the sky, sending your back some love. Savoring its engagement, its attention. Notice your glutes, engage them. Notice the tops of the feet in this low cobra. Exhale, lower down. And savor being supine for a moment on your belly. Take your hands, bring them by your sides. Your palms can face up, forehead on the earth. Turn your head so that one ear is on the floor, and pause here and just notice how it feels to be on the front side of your body. Something we rarely do. Take 2 breaths here on this ear. Switch your gaze to the other side. The other ear rests on the earth. And allow yourself to relax in for a moment. Notice any resistance to slowing down and pausing. That's our natural tendency, is to resist. We are used to moving, and so we can experience a lot of discomfort when we pause. Allowing it. Bring your forehead back to the floor.
Take an inhale and lift up, coming into locust pose. Your feet will lift up, your hands will lift up, your chest will lift up, lower back will engage once again. Your fingers reaching towards your toes. Inhale, everything engaged. Notice your front of your hip bones pressing into the earth, keeping you centered and balanced. Exhale, release. Bring your hands alongside under your shoulders, curl your toes, and we'll press back up to downward dog. Enjoy this downward dog. Do any wiggles or wobbles that your body may need, any stretches. Notice if your sit bones want to reach high, high, high. You want to walk the dog. You may want to twist your hips. Letting your body choose what feels good to it and savor it for a moment. When you're ready, reconnect your attention to your hands, all 10 fingers on the floor, both palms pressing downward, right ball of the foot on the floor. Engage your belly, inhale the left leg towards the sky, three-legged dog, heel presses into the back wall, both legs straight, both arms straight, everything engaged, heel pressing into the back wall, everything working awake. Exhale, gently bring that left foot between your hands, coming into warrior one on the side. Wide base between your feet, left toes reach towards the front, back toes reach towards the right front corner of the mat. Inhale your arms towards the sky. Exhale, sink into that front knee. Ensure that your front knee is not bending beyond your ankle. Inhale, reach tall, tall, tall. Exhale, sink in. Likely feel a delightful stretch in the right calf. Allow yourself to enjoy it. Huge inhale, stretch tall, drinking in the breath all the way down through your waist, down through your hips, down both legs into your feet. Exhale, sink in. Open your arms out towards the side walls. Reclasp them at your sacrum. Press your fists towards the floor, shoulders towards the floor, slight arch back, looking up towards the sky. Huge heart opener. Drinking the breath right into the back of the heart space. Unsticking things that were once stuck. Perhaps shifting perspective. Allowing space for things to percolate, to bake. Huge in-breath once again. Exhale, let it go. Bring your chin back to neutral and drop your chin towards your chest and enjoy the release in the neck, shoulders down and back, fists reach towards the floor. Huge heart opener. Use the breath. Bring your chin back to neutral. Release your hands. Bring your hands to heart center, palms together, thumbs come to the sternum. Hop the back foot forward a foot or two. Shift your weight into your front foot and come into warrior three, whatever it looks like on this side. May look the same, may look different. Your back foot rises up where it can. Point your back toe and flex your back toe. You can roll your ankle if that's accessible, or you may need to keep it on the floor. Either way is okay. Savor all the sensations here. If you wish to raise your arms to the side like Superman, enjoy. Allow a little bit of lightness in the spirit of Hanukkah, sending light everywhere. Lower your back foot towards the floor. Lower your hands on either side of that left foot. Hop the right foot forward to meet the left. Engage your belly and roll up slowly. Treating your spine well, bathing it with slow movement and breath as you unroll all the way to stand. When you arrive, reach your shoulders, shrug them up towards your ears, pinch them back towards the back of the mat, lower them down, palms open towards the front. Letting things settle, enjoying. Huge gulp of breath. Exhale, let it out.